Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 different ways you might be wasting money. Now this topic's been covered by Graham Stefan and Nate O'Brien, 2 pretty big YouTubers in America, finance YouTubers, but I think there's a few things that they've missed that I want to add to my video to let you guys know. So these are all things that I've done myself, or at least thought about myself that I might have done, and I've tried correcting, so I thought I'd let you guys know and see what you think. So the first one, and this is quite a big one really, is having the wrong bank account. So for me, I had my money in a really low interest savings account, so it was 0.25% interest. But over the last year, or the last 12 months, the inflation rate in the UK has been 1.5%. So actually my money has been essentially devalued by 1.25% just by having it sitting in a bank account for a year. So the most important thing you can do is either go out and find yourself a high interest savings account that you can put your money in, or even better, take that money and invest it either into an index fund or just using Trading 212. There'll be a referral link down below for a free stock worth up to £100 if you want to join that. And then you can see some higher returns on your money, so your money's not getting devalued over time. So the second thing, and this is a huge thing that I found, was not requoting insurance. So whether it's home, gadget, car insurance, if you just accept the renewal quote that you get given year on year, it might be slightly cheaper than your previous year, but it's not going to be the cheapest you can get. So I found that with my car insurance, I was kind of looking at maybe £600, £700 a year for my insurance. And when I got my renewal quotes, typically, because I'm quite a young driver, my renewal quotes would go up. And when I requoted, I'd save myself between £150 and £300 a year, just by going through and doing that whole renewal process and getting a new quote. It's really easy and quick with things like Go Compare and other websites where you can price compare loads of different kind of categories of insurance at the same time. Now, if you don't want to go through the hassle of requoting and rejoining and not having any membership with a certain insurance company for a few years, then one thing you can do is each time you get sent your renewal quote, just call up the company that are giving you your insurance and say, look, I think my renewal quote's a bit high, I'm thinking on leaving and going to another company because I might get a lower quote elsewhere. And I pretty much guarantee that every time they'll pretty much call you back straight away, or on that same call say, well, hold on, let me requote for you and we'll see if we can beat that price. And typically you'll find yourself making a really good saving just by doing that one simple thing. And that works for other types of insurance as well, so it's not just car insurance, it's gadgets and home insurance. If you just don't have that fear, if you just ask, then typically you can save yourself quite a lot of money. So the next thing I'd say, and this one people kind of have a stigma against, I don't really understand why, but that's buying brand new items when you really don't need to. So for me, for example, this desk, this microphone, and a load of other things I've bought recently have all been second-hand. So the desk I actually got for free from a neighbour who happened to be moving out and wanted to get rid of it. The microphone I ended up paying £60 under the new value for a microphone which somebody bought, sat on a shelf and never used. Now I can see why people don't want to use second-hand things. It's, you don't quite get the same buzz as getting something new. But for me, I don't really see that as an issue. So I save myself quite a lot of money by scouring Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree, places like that, and trying to find yourself a really good deal on something that you want. Now the other thing you can do with buying brand new items is you can think to yourself about whether you actually need a brand new item or whether an older version of the item will do. So going through and doing lots of research into, specifically for technology, lots of research into what the newest generation of something adds versus the older generations can really save you a lot of money, because if you're buying something that's 1 or 2 generations older, whether it's a phone or a speaker or a microphone, you can end up saving yourself between 50 to a few £100 just by buying a slightly older version that has all of the capabilities that you need. So then hand in hand with that, really, with getting second-hand items, is selling your second-hand items. So I came to the end of university and I realised when I was moving out that I had a load of stuff. I mean, I made like 4 boxes and bags worth of stuff that I thought, I'm just going to have to throw this away. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But actually, once you filter through it, you can sort out the stuff that's damaged and that you probably can't sell from the stuff that you can sell and that is probably still got some value. And I ended up making back quite a lot of money, so things that you wouldn't even think were worth that much money. So I had a really old Xbox 360, which I thought I'd maybe make £20 on, whatever. I checked on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. I ended up selling the Xbox for £55, which, that's not an astronomical sum of money, but it's much better than just throwing it in the bin or giving it away for free. And then the other thing you can do is those things which are slightly damaged. So one big one is furniture. Is you can upcycle furniture so easily, whether it's just filling in some scratches and then painting them. You can get like sample test pots of paint for maybe £2-3 from B&Q, fillers maybe £1, £2 online. So then you put £5 in, and this furniture, which you would have either thrown away, taken to the tip, you could sell that for £50 to £100 as a second-hand item, and lots of people will be very happy because they'll actually want the cheaper price of the second-hand item. So that's something that I think is really cool. So focus on like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree, places like that. And one really crucial thing for getting the most money you can out of them is making sure you take really good photos. So make sure your items well pictured within the frame. You've got nothing in the background that can detract from the image quality. You've got really clear photos, and then make sure your description of the item's kind of a positive sale. You're not just saying, I've got an item that I don't want anymore and I want to get rid of. Just say, this is a fantastic item, it's been great to use, and now I'm looking to give it a new home with somebody who might appreciate it more as I move on in my life. It gives you that kind of positive sale attitude, that mental attitude that people really look for. And then the last thing, which I think is probably for me one of the most important things you can do, is not making your own lunch. So, for example, at university, I used to go to the cafe pretty much 5 days a week at lunchtime, and I'd spend £3 to £5 on a meal deal, plus a drink, plus a few other things, which over the course of a year ends up being £1,200. Now it's even worse in the city now that I live in London, because if you're going to Pret-a-Manger or places like that, you can spend up to £10 for just your lunch, and if you add a £5 coffee on top of that from Starbucks, then you're looking at £15 a day, which is working out to around £3,500 a year. Now that's a huge spending, when you can cook your home meals, you can batch cook like meals, freeze them, refrigerate them, and then use them later on in the week. And you can end up making meals for under £1, easily under £1 for each meal that you eat. So that can save you loads and loads of money. So in that same vein, not just with lunch but with dinners, takeaway and eating out is so expensive. I mean, there's a premium, of course, for going out and having that service, and obviously it is very nice to go out for a meal. But if you do it too often, it can become very, very expensive very quickly. And I find that actually you don't really get the same reward. So if you're going out for a meal every day, or if you have a takeaway maybe 4 times a week, I find that you don't really value the fact that you're having a takeaway. At that point, it just becomes a habit. It's an ingestion of food as a habit. Whereas if you can kind of limit your takeaways to maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month even, and going out for a meal, maybe do that once a month as well, you'll save yourself loads of money, but also that experience of going out and eating carries so much more value, and it will just make you feel much better because you're saving money, and every time you do go out it will feel like a special occasion, even though it doesn't have to be. So those are my 5 key tips really for ways that you're probably wasting money without even noticing. I'd love to hear what ideas you have for ways you might be wasting money, or ways that you can save money really easily, so let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.